Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to OldManJM's PvP Playground. I am OldManJM, and this is my playground. Well, sort of. We aren't quite doing PvP today. We are showing you some of the secrets that you want to use on a PvP server to keep your loot from getting stolen by another player. Now, you can never 100% prevent that. All you can really do is make it harder, make it take longer for them to get to it. They may quit because they get frustrated because it's taking too long, or they may run out of resources that they brought with them. Say they brought an auger, but they only brought 10,000 gas. Well, if it takes them 30,000 gas to get to your stuff, then, well, they can't get to your stuff. So, things we're going to talk about today, we got 5 or 6 little tips that we're going to make it harder for other players to find your base. And if they do find your base, much harder to get to your loot. How to keep your loot safe. You would say, where are my storage boxes, old man? That's very simple, you kids. It's right over here. You see this? This is where my storage boxes are. Like, what the heck? What do you mean, old man? That's just a bunch of steel hatches and iron hatches up here. Those aren't storage boxes. Actually, they are. And let me show you. Go back into first person mode here. So what I've set up here is an example. You can see we've got the iron hatches up top and then the steel hatches down below. Then we've got the storage boxes behind the hatches. One thing you want to be very careful of is to make sure that the hatches are all locked as well. As you can see, the boxes underneath, the storage boxes, needs to be locked too. Otherwise, once they break the hatch, they can get into the box. This way, they got to break the hatch, and then they also have to break the box just to get to your loot. Now you can see down here, we've got the steel hatches. Obviously, much stronger, 21,000 durability on a steel hatch. Once again, though, make sure those storage boxes underneath are also locked. Otherwise, they only have to break the hatch to get to your loot. Now, something else I want to show you is you also need to protect your workstations. You got forges, workbenches, chem stations, and a campfire. I've already went ahead and put my campfire behind a hatch. The reason for that is because someone raiding your base may run out of food and water that they brought with them. If they do, then they're going to be trying to steal your food and water in order to survive, to continue the raid. But if your food and water, the storage box is hidden behind a hatch, and so is your campfire, even if you are making food before you left the base unattended, they won't be able to get to the food that you were making in the campfire. The next thing I want to address is these concrete blocks that are holding the hatches up. If you leave those concrete, they're only 5,000 durability. So they could take out those concrete blocks, the hatches will fall with only 10,000 damage. So you need to upgrade those to steel as well, or as high as you possibly can with wherever you are in the game. Now you can see here, in order to make a steel hatch, it takes 10 forged steel, 10 springs, and 10 mechanical parts. For that, you get a steel hatch with the durability of 21,000. But a steel block only takes 10 steel. But it's only, that steel block is only going to have a durability of 10,000. So for those 10 extra springs and those 10 extra mechanical parts, you get another 11,000 worth of durability. So it makes... So the next thing I want to show you here is how to protect your workstations. Because believe me, I've done a lot of raiding. You see, I've already got my campfire behind a hatch. We want to put all of our workstations behind a hatch as well. Because trust me, I've done a lot of raiding, and I can't even tell you how many times I've gotten into someone's base and didn't bring enough resources with me to continue the raid, but I was able to continue the raid because I took some resources out of their workstations that they had working in there, like gasoline in a chem station, and I put it in my auger and I kept going on the raid. If they had protected their workstations, I would have had to give up and go home. So you can see now we've got all of our workstations encased in steel and behind steel hatches, so that when I'm in the base, I can still open the hatches and access all of my workstations. But when someone breaks into the base, it's going to be much, much harder, take much, much longer for them to get to anything inside my base. I've actually had times on PvP servers where my base got raided, but nothing got taken and nothing got broken into because player told me later they were the ones that got into my base, but they got in there and they saw all those freaking hatches and just gave up. It wasn't worth it to them to continue. Like I said, you can see here, I can still access all my workstations. But when I log out or when I leave the base, it's very well protected. Another thing you can do is stagger your storage crates. Instead of a storage crate right here in the center, we can put a solid block. Make it concrete, upgrade it to steel. Then, if someone breaks the hatch, they're staring right at the solid block of steel with no loot to be had. And even if they do want to try to get the storage crates to the right and to the left of this steel hatch, they've got to go through that block of steel to do it as well. The next thing I want to show you how to do here is protect your land claim block. Now, a land claim block is pretty strong. It's 7,000 durability. But that's not even as good as a steel hatch or a block of steel. So, since you only have a few land claim blocks you can put down, you need to protect it as well. There's a few ways you can do that. The first and simplest would be to put blocks on all four sides and another one on top of the land claim. And so another player has to break through that block before they can start working on the land claim. If it's concrete, it's got 5,000 durability. If it's steel, it's got 10,000. But if you surround the land claim block with steel hatches, you'll have 21,000 worth of durability protecting the land claim on all four sides as well as on the top. Now you've got 21,000 durability on all five sides of the land claim. Just make sure you lock all those steel hatches. Now I'm going to show you another way to protect the land claim. You need to put it towards the middle of a room. Now you're putting the blocks all around it and one on top. Now you're going to upgrade those to steel. Then you can put another block. One on top. One more on each side. One more down below. Of course, upgrade those to steel if you have the ability to do so. And then finally, one more block in the gap here, and upgrade that to steel. This forces the enemy player to go through at least 2 steel blocks just to get to your land claim. So in order to take out one land claim block, they'll have to take out 27,000 worth of durability. That is a well-protected base. The next thing you can do is have this all ready to go. If this is an underground base, you set this up right here just like this, and then if you have the fear of someone raiding your base, maybe someone follows you down your hole, but you close the door behind you, it's going to take them a while to get here, you can run in here, you can throw the land claim in there, you can seal it off with concrete and quickly upgrade it to stone. Bam! You've got a tremendously well-protected base. Yes, you will probably have to move, but at least for now, your loot is safe. You can do the same exact thing with the hatch protection, the steel hatch protection. You can throw the land claim in there, throw a steel hatch on top of it, make sure you lock that hatch, and then you're at least protected for the short term, and then you can defend your base much easier. So the last thing I want to show you in this video is how to hide your hole where you come in and out of. You can see here I'm using particle board ladders. They're building blocks, but shaped into ladders. You do not want to upgrade these. You want to leave them unupgraded so that you can quickly pick them back up. If someone is following you down your hole, you can go down and pick them up behind you. And if you can get a land claim down, they won't be able to get out, and they'll end up dying in your hole. And when they thought they were going to get your loot, you'll actually get theirs. So when you get to the top of your hole, you should make sure you need, for this situation, you need destroyed stone. Usually, you will need topsoil. I'll show you why you need destroyed stone in this situation. Now that's got grass in it there, but it's not grass, it's stone. You can see it even acts like stone when you hit it. You're going to need to use a pickaxe. Now you jump out, you make another piece of destroyed stone. You place it in the hole, and no one will ever know it's there. You could even place 2 in there, just in case the top one gets damaged. They still won't know the hole is there. One last tip for this video: if someone does discover your hole, follows you down there, or maybe you log in and they're in your base and they kill you, when you respawn, the very first thing you want to do is create a land claim, run over to where on the surface where your base is. Hopefully they haven't thought about land claiming it yet. You throw the land claim down, and now they're stuck down in your base. Well, if you liked this video, guys, I hope you'll try some PvP in the future. Hope you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. If you want any suggestions on PvP servers, once again, it's NA PvP, Stormwatch PvP, Invictus PvP. All have good admins. Give them a try.